Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Mi, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. In today's video, we're going to talk about chapter 1050 of the manga and what we could expect to see in this upcoming and amazing chapter of One Piece. Now, of course, the defeat of Kaido has been planned for a very long time. In fact, Luffy and Law originally teamed up exclusively to bring down the empire of this Yonko, who is causing great suffering to the people around him. With the most recent chapters, including 1049, we see that the defeat of Kaido may have actually happened, and a defeat that will make Luffy even more known throughout the world, making him the new Yonko. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the events leading up to Luffy's defeat of Kaido, how Luffy managed to finally bring this Yonko down, and how all of this might affect Wano and the rest of the world moving forward. But before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel, we'd be absolutely honored if you consider leaving us a like, or even subscribing with a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really motivates us to make more content, and if you'd like to help us out in a bigger way, consider sharing the video or the channel with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So friends, since the beginning of his adventure, Luffy has had the goal of becoming the greatest pirate in the world, or the king of the pirates. But for this to happen, it was necessary for Luffy to defeat the most powerful pirates that currently existed. These great pirates, and which are known as Yonkos, were introduced shortly after the beginning of Luffy's adventure. And on the seas, they were Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, and Shanks, who are the ancient emperors who led the sea, possessing the greatest rewards in the world. And now it seems this very battle is going to be coming to an end now. As we saw in chapter 1049, Luffy finally seems to have defeated Kaido for good. So we'll have a big analysis of the events until chapter 1050, in which we shall see this confrontation be declared over once and for all by the narrator. And with Luffy and Kaido's battle finally coming to a definitive end, we're going to see how this all came about. Going back to the very beginning of this massive arc, we see that Luffy and Law were, although not completely enemies, were at least rivals for the title of King of the Pirates. But they decided to ally because they had the same objective, which was to defeat one of the four emperors. These emperors, of course, would hinder their journey, and the Yonko were the closest pirates to being able to find the One Piece and even become King of the Pirates. So it was necessary that they were defeated before Luffy or Law continued their journey. When Trafalgar Law offered to form an alliance with Luffy and the Straw Hats to supposedly just defeat Kaido and destroy that Yonko's empire, Luffy eagerly agreed to the alliance and even stated that he would defeat all four Yonkos. So with the alliance formed, Luffy and Law's goal became to defeat one of the four most powerful emperors, something that would totally be impossible for them alone to do because Kaido and the other Yonkos are extremely powerful, so it'd be an almost impossible mission to accomplish. But at no time did Luffy think about giving up on defeating either of the four or any of the four Yonko, and Law suggested that their chance of success were only maybe about 30%, but Luffy remained convinced that they would be able to defeat the empire of Kaido, as well as the rest of the Yonkos. However, it is later revealed by Law that he formed this alliance with Luffy not as a means to defeat Kaido, but rather to make Kaido angry at Doflamingo because of the Straw Hats destroying the Smile Factory on Punk Hazard. Law also notes that if they managed to defeat Doflamingo and destroy Kaido's artificial fruit factory, it would cause the Yonko to focus his grudge towards the Pirate Alliance, making them Kaido's #1 target for getting in the way of his big plans. Now, Kaido knew about the two crews before that because he had heard what they'd done on Punk Hazard and Dressrosa, and when he heard about them destroying his source of Smile, he became extremely angry and considered them immediately enemies, saying that he would make them pay for destroying his plans. However, he still doesn't take them as individuals seriously because of Kaido's great pride. He thought that Luffy and Law really couldn't do anything against him because they were weaker, and they wouldn't have enough strength to be able to defeat him directly or head on. So Kaido personally didn't feel very threatened by the provocations of Luffy and Law, and the fact that they were destroying his plans. Despite underestimating our two captains, Kaido really had an immense hatred for Luffy and Law, going so far as to brutally smash their wanted posters, along with his own subordinates, just to vent his anger, showing that these two could really shake a Yonko. Weakening Kaido little by little through all these small tactical deeds was necessary so that Law and Luffy could increase their chances of victory against him, because in direct combat it would be too risky because of his overall great strength. Kaido even refused Big Mom's request to take Luffy's life, because Kaido wanted to be the one to defeat the Straw Hat Boy, because he was causing all these problems for his plans. As the plan unfolded, Luffy and Law realized in Wano that their ultimate goal goal would have to be to defeat Kaido directly through physical combat, where Law and Luffy would fight together to defeat this large beast and his large beast pirate army. When Kaido and Luffy first meet in person, it's while Kaido is transformed as a dragon destroying Oden Castle. But Luffy's friends also happen to be there. Luffy attacks Kaido in anger and becomes even more enraged after hearing that he'd attacked Tama. And Luffy, while he goes to attack Kaido, although really looking strong, ends up defeating in failure, and Kaido knocks him unconscious with a single blow. In this moment, it demonstrates to Luffy that there was a very large difference between their strengths, and that in order for Luffy to be able to defeat Kaido, it would be necessary for him to become even stronger through training and also improve and expand upon his techniques. Because Luffy's current techniques at that time wouldn't even be able to hurt Kaido. His power is too gigantic compared to Luffy's, so it was necessary for Law and Luffy to become even stronger. Adding insult to injury, Kaido went on to mock Luffy's declaration that he would become the Pirate King, but he was impressed that Luffy was using his Conqueror's Haki, and instead of taking his life, Kaido decided to break his spirit and turn him into a subordinate. After he was arrested, Luffy promised to make Kaido pay for this, and while in prison, Luffy decided to train to strengthen his abilities so that he could defeat Kaido the next time they met. While in prison, he met Kid, who had also been captured by Kaido some time ago, but not wanting to be one of his subordinates, he was arrested and forced to work in Kaido's prison. But because they all have the same objective in common, which of course is to defeat Kaido in order to obtain the title of Yonko, Kid and Law accept this brief reunion or even alliance so that they could defeat Kaido's pirates and the Yonko themselves during a fight. But as I already mentioned, Luffy, Law, and Kid didn't have enough strength to defeat Kaido, and after Kaido and Big Mom formed their alliance, the goal of defeating Kaido became even more difficult. While in Udon prison, Luffy trained and trained to be able to conquer new and stronger techniques to take Kaido down. But even so, Kaido always managed to defeat him, and while Luffy was having a hard time defeating him, Law and Kid had to team up to face and defeat Big Mom together. Because obviously, even with Law and Kid together, the difference in power between them and Big Mom was ridiculously large. But with the power of their awakened fruit, Law and Kid were able to take her down and knock her off Onigashima, who was flying because of Kaido's flame clouds. But unlike Law and Kid, Luffy hadn't managed in this second or even I think third attempt to defeat Kaido. In fact, he had just had his confrontation hampered by a member of CP0 who had actually hit Luffy in the middle of the fight, and this made Kaido even angrier. After having the fight disrupted and seemingly defeated by Kaido, a new power is awakened in Luffy, and rays come out of his body showing the new power had emerged from our Straw Hat Pirate. And with the Gorosei's confirmation, it is confirmed that this is the awakening of Luffy's fruit. We find out that the fruit Luffy possessed was actually a fruit with powers from the sun god Nika, considered a legendary fruit which has had its real name changed so that no other pirates would know of his existence and want to go after it. After awakening his fruit, Luffy had managed to acquire several new powers and a great resistance that allowed Luffy to now hold his own against Kaido, and was finally able to wound him and receive several blows from Kaido without being defeated quickly. But during this fight, it was still really difficult to know who was going to be the winner, because both showed great powers, and when Luffy brought something out new, Kaido brought out something new. But in this most recent chapter of 1049, the possible winner of this fight may have just been revealed. So after everything that's happened and all of the matchups that have happened between Luffy and Kaido, the Battle of Wano will finally end once and for all in chapter 1050. As we saw between chapters 1048 and 1049, Luffy and Kaido were using their strongest attacks to defeat each other, so that they could move forward their plans. So the defeat of one of these two characters at this point needs to be essential for our story to move forward. And as we saw, Luffy was able to win this contest of strength and will against Kaido, which allowed him to throw an incredible punch at this beast infused with Ryo and everything that he wanted to make sure that never did his friends ever starve, and to live in a world where they can eat as much as they want. And it was finally strong enough to make Kaido fall at high speed into the flower capital to the ground. We're also treated to a flashback to Kaido's past, in which he tells King that the only one who would be able to defeat him would be Joy Boy, which seems to have come true, as after awakening his fruit, Luffy apparently managed to become, or at least awaken, the spirit of Joy Boy. Now, we still don't know exactly what this title could mean, but it said that Joy Boy is the only one who can change the world. So Luffy became the new hope for the world, because he will be the person who will become king of the pirates and change the world and shake it to its core. So it looks like Luffy was able to defeat Kaido, because in this chapter we were treated to that flashback of Kaido's past, which usually happens when a character is about to be defeated. With Kaido's fall to the ground, this also shows that he may have just finally acquiesced to Luffy, and with his defeat, Kaido will have his plans completely destroyed by the Straw Hats, forcing him to leave Wano if he's still alive. With Kaido's defeat, Luffy will finally be able to become a new Yonko, as well as have his reward increase dramatically, and maybe even past Kaido's reward. And all of this in addition to having him awaken a new power. So in this journey that started all the way back in chapter 909 in July of 2018, this great conflict in Wano has brought about the defeat of two Yonko, with Law and Kid managing to take down Big Mom, and of course Luffy seemingly managed to defeat Kaido. So this new generation of pirates, these supernova, may be even closer to becoming the new King of the Pirates. But for now, let us know what you think about it. Do you think Kaido is finally down, or is he gonna do that just one more time coming out of the ground looking to be defeated? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And as we wrap up our video, I want to thank you all so much for watching until the very end. Comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you've made it this far, give us a like as you head out to take on the rest of your day. Hope to see you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.